Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, and welcome to Khan Global Studies. So I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening, everyone. I hope I am properly audible and visible to all of you. Good evening. Okay, so I welcome you all to the session. In the previous session, we have discussed about the rare earth elements. We have discussed about many of the other topics also. And there was one part which was remaining, that the discussion about the test series, that what should be your strategy in the test series and other exams. So we are going to discuss about all of that today, and the topics which we are going to discuss today: a little bit update about the Aravallis, then we will discuss this part about NP of banks, dark energy, then we will have the strategy discussion, and then we will have the prelims special article. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay. So yes, welcome back after a long time, but we are here continuously. But yes, welcome back after a long time. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss. But before discussing this, let us discuss some questions. So there is this one question: if there were no Himalayan ranges, what would have been the most likely geographical impact on India? If there were no such geographical range like Himalaya, so then what would have been the impact? Much of the country would experience the cold waves from Siberia. Indo-Gangetic plain would be devoid of extensive alluvial soil. The pattern of monsoon would be different from what it is at present. So you can expect a similar question with respect to Aravallis or Western Ghats also. That if Western Ghats were not there, if Aravallis were not there, then what could be the condition? So here we have this one question which was asked in UPSC prelims examination. So look at this question: if there were no Himalayan ranges, what would have been the most likely geographical impact on India? Devoid means lack, means deficiency, lack of thing. The things which are not present, it is called as devoid. Anupasthiti. C option from Ranjit, D option from Raj Verma. If we look at this question, if there were no Himalayas, the countries would experience the cold wave from Siberia. This one part is correct. This one part is correct, that India would experience the cold wave from Siberia. So this first part here is correct. Second is Indo-Gangetic plain would be devoid of extensive alluvial soil. This is also correct. You may be aware about this, that the Himalayan ranges are the source of the alluvial soils. So yes, this option is also correct. The pattern of monsoon would be different from what it is at present. All these three are correct. So hence the answer is option number D, that is 1, 2 and 3. Coming to the second question. Kavach system can help in reducing the chances of train collision. It facilitates direct communication between two Kavach equipped locomotives approaching each other on the same track. Kavach system can help in reducing the chances of train collision. It facilitates direct communication between two Kavach equipped locomotives approaching each other on same track. So what would be the correct answer? Question number 2. A option, C option. What is Kavach? Okay, you may not have seen the previous session, that's why you are asking. See, generally we are discussing this topic one day before, and we are solving questions on it on the next day. Like today we will discuss some topics, and on the next day we will be discussing the questions on the basis of the topics which we discussed today. So last day we have discussed about the Kavach system. Kavach is a train collision avoidance system. It is a system which helps in avoiding the collision between two trains. So here if we look at this, it can help in reducing the chances of train collision. That is correct. It facilitates direct communication between two Kavach equipped locomotives approaching each other on same track. That is also correct. So here the answer is both statements are correct, and statement 2 explains this statement 1 also. So A option will be the correct answer. Many of you have gone for C option, but remember this one thing. Why they are not able to, why they are able to stop? Because there is a communication between the trains itself. There is a communication between the trains itself. Even the drivers are getting the alert, the loco pilots are getting the alert, but at the same time, the train systems, they are automatically in connection. So even when the driver fails, there will be automatic application of the brakes. So this is the automatic system in Kavach. How many of the following countries have maritime borders? Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia. How many of them have maritime borders? Means they are sharing the border with sea areas. How many of them are having maritime borders? Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia. C option. The Kavach system has been applied right now only in some areas. It is not there in every part of the country. And it is a communication between the trains. Even the signals and all are also part of it. Signals, stations and all are part of it. So Kavach system is something which will be applicable on each and every part. C option, D option. Remember one thing, Laos this is a landlocked nation. Apart from this, Cambodia is sharing, Thailand is there, Myanmar is there. All of them are having maritime borders. Laos is not having it. So answer will be only 3. Answer here will be only 3. So C option will be the correct answer. So these questions were there with respect to like the topics which we have discussed in our previous classes. Now we are going to start our discussion with respect to today's topic. Laos is not making any border with the sea, so Laos has to be eliminated. All 3 are having the borders with the sea or the maritime borders. Now, the Supreme Court has finally taken a suo motu cognizance of the public issue surrounding the Aravalli. So now what has been done? I think you all might be aware that if we talk about the timeline, so on 20th November, what we see that Supreme Court has accepted recommendation of union government with respect to Aravalli's definition. Then after this part, we see that there were huge protest and criticism of this move. And then after, now what we have seen that the Supreme Court, it has taken a suo motu cognizance. It has taken a suo motu cognizance. What is suo motu cognizance? If some issue is going on, if some issue is going on in the country, and even if there is no case which has been filed against it, even if there is a no such case which has been filed against it, then also Supreme Court can take a suo motu cognizance of it. The Supreme Court has taken a suo motu cognizance of the matter, and now what they have said that with respect to this Aravalli issue, they are going to put this on hold. Like here, like the 20 November judgment, it has been kept at abeyance. Means now what we see that, that this judgment has been put on hold. This judgment has been put on hold, means the previous conditions will exist. And now the Supreme Court has said that there will be constitution of an independent expert opinion. Supreme Court has said that there is going to be an independent expert opinion. There is going to be an independent expert opinion on the matters of Aravalli. On Aravalli issue. Okay. So Supreme Court has said that there will be a independent expert commission which will be set up, and they will be giving the recommendation with respect to Aravalli, that whether this 100-meter definition is going to provide protection or not, whether the mining in this area should be allowed or not. So on multiple things, this expert committee is going to give its opinion. Until that time, it has been put on hold. Means the judgment is not effective as of now. So all other things has been put on hold. All other things has been put on hold. Now Supreme Court has said that, keeping in mind the public opinion with respect to Aravalli and the issues which have been highlighted in the recent times, this is the decision by the Supreme Court that now they are going to reconsider this. They are going to take an expert opinion, and only after that any such decision will be taken with respect to Aravallis. So this is one part, like this is one thing which you have to keep in mind, that of course we see that in our country there is of course government which is quite powerful, Supreme Court and all other things which are quite powerful. But if we see this, that what is the sign and symbols of democracy? What is the signs and symbol of democracy? You can see this part, that if there is a massive public outrage, not only the government, the Supreme Court has to take its decision back. For the right thing, the Supreme Court also has to take a stand back. Supreme Court has to review its own judgment. It has to put its judgment on hold, keeping in mind people's opinion and environmental issues. So this highlights that yes, in a democratic country, why everything can be done. Now, there are some people who are saying that India is polluted because of democracy. There are some news channels which claim that India is polluted because of democracy. If there was no democracy, India would have been free of pollution. But it's not like that. Democracy has its own advantages. Democracy has its own advantages. So that's it. Okay. Now, coming to the next part, NPA, non-performing assets. Non-performing assets. So what do you know about non-performing assets? What do you know about this non-performing assets? What are the non-performing assets? Any idea about this? That what is non-performing assets? can we say that media play a key role in Aravalli issue? Not that much to media. Of course, media has taken a very different stand. It has been said that media has seen the public anger with respect to Aravallis. Media has seen this public anger with respect to Aravallis, and then media has taken the corner with the public on this issue. In general, on various environmental issues, media is generally silent. But in this issue, the public anger was so much, the public agitation was so much, there was one-sided view of public. So here media has no other option. No loan repayment on time. Okay, what is that time? What actually is the definition? Within 82 days. 82 days. Yes, check bounce issue. What is non-performing asset? What we see that if the principal or interest on a loan has not been paid for $90, if it has not been paid for 90 days, then it is considered as non-performing assets. If loan or interest has not been paid on any such, if loan or interest, if the principal or interest on a loan has not been paid for 90 days, then it is considered as a non-performing assets. But now this non-performing assets has various classification. It has got various classification. There is one thing which is called as a special mention account. There is one thing called as special mention account. Special mention account or SMA. So before a loan becomes NPA, there is another term which is called as SMA. So there are different stages. Okay. So if we look at this, like suppose there is 3 stage, SMA 0, SMA 1 and SMA 2. Special mention account 0, 1 and 2. Okay. So what we see that if default is from 1 to 30 days, if default is from 1 to 30 days, it is called as a special mention account 0. Then if it is 31 to 60 days, it is called as SMA 1, and 61 to 90 days, then we call this as SMA 2. And if it is more than 90 days, then it becomes a NPA. If the loan payment is pending for more than 90 days, now it will not be under SMA category. It is going to be classified as the NPA. And in NPA also, we have two things. One is called as substandard. One is called as basically substandard asset. This is the first category of NPA, where simply loan overdue for more than 90 days. Loan overdue for more than 90 days. It is a category of NPA which is called as substandard asset. And if what we see that if like a substandard asset, if substandard asset continues, if substandard asset continues for more than 12 months, more than 12 months, then it is classified as doubtful asset. Then it is classified as doubtful asset. And then we have loss asset also. So in NPA, we have two categories. In NPA, we have two categories. One is substandard and one is the doubtful asset. If a loan is overdue for 90 days or more, then it is called as substandard. But if a loan has remained substandard for more than 1 year, then it is called as doubtful asset. And if for a long period of time a loan has remained doubtful, then it is considered as lost asset. Now, in terms of India, what we see that the NPA, it has been reducing now. You can see the entire part in 2010. In 2010-11, it was 2.2%. Then it started to increase, and in 2017-18, it reached up to like 11.2%. This was the panic situation. In 2017-18, the Indian economy, the Indian banks were having a NPO ratio of around 11.2%. And then after we see that the NPA came under control. After RBI's intervention, NPAs came under control. And what we see that after that it started to decline. And finally in 2024-25, it had reached back to the level of 2.2. Okay. So the NPA percentage in 2024-25, it has come back to the level of 2.2%. So in the last 15 years, you can see this journey of NPA in India, that it has started to rise. And then it has again come down. It has started to rise, it went up to 11.2%, and then it started to decline. Now it is quite under control. So the banking operations in India has been quite much reviewed tightly by the Reserve Bank of India. And as a result of that, banks are in good health as of now. Okay. I hope that's clear. SBI ने अकाउंट ओपन करने पर बैंक वाले इंश्योरेंस क्यों चालू कर देते हैं? कौन सा इंश्योरेंस? कौन सा इंश्योरेंस चालू कर दिया? I hope this NPA story is clear, that what is NPA, what are the classification of NPA, and plus what is the situation of NPA in India over the last 15 years. So I hope this is clear. I hope this part is clear. Any doubt in this section? If you are having the accidental insurance, I think accidental insurance is of 12 rupees or something. Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, perhaps. Perhaps it is of 12 rupees, accidental insurance, Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana. I don't know what is the current premium as of now. Okay. There is Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima, and there is Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Yojana. So these are the two insurance which have been started. It is optional, it is not compulsory. But in India, there is a simple thing. There are certain optional things which are considered as mandatory. Okay. There are certain optional things which are considered as mandatory. So even if people are not giving consent, or sometimes it is on the basis of consent which is not informed. There is one thing called as informed consent. Means people have been given this choice. You can either opt in or you can opt out. But in some cases, it is a mandatory opt-in. because people have not been given a choice. In many cases, Aadhaar card is not compulsory. In many cases, Aadhaar card is not compulsory. But even then, it is being collected as a compulsion that if you don't give your Aadhaar card, nothing will be done. So insurance as a matter is not compulsory. Insurance is not compulsory for anyone. If any bank is doing it, it is wrong. Okay. Close नहीं करते हैं बोलने पर भी. So then you have to complain at higher level. Okay, so that is one part. Now coming to the second portion, dark energy. Now this is one thing, dark energy. So what is the concept of dark energy? Around 13.8 billion years back, around 13.5 billion years back, there was this one thing called as Big Bang explosion. There was this one thing called as Big Bang event, and from here we see that there was expansion of universe. There is this one thing called as expansion of universe. Now there was one question among the scientists. There was one question among the scientists that what is the source of this expansion? Source of energy. What is the source of energy for expansion? What is the source of energy for expansion? That was one of the major questions among the scientists. That what is the source of energy for this expansion? And one of the things which was highlighted here, that it may be possible because of one thing called as dark energy. That dark energy may have been responsible for this expansion. Dark energy may be responsible behind this expansion, the massive expansion of the universe. Okay. So dark energy was given this one credit. There was a model called as lambda cold dark matter. Lambda cold dark matter model. LCDM model. Now this LCDM model, it said that dark energy, this dark energy, which is roughly around 68 to 69% of universe. This is roughly around 68 to 69% of universe, and this is responsible for massive expansion. Responsible for massive expansion. So this is one thing which has been suggested, and it has been said that this energy is this energy is increasing, or this energy will not be exhausted. It has been said that this energy will not be exhausted. But now there is another claim. There is another claim. Remember one thing, this is a claim. This is also a claim that dark energy is responsible behind the expansion of the universe. This is one of the theory. And for this theory, there was a Nobel Prize also, which was given in 1998. So there was a Nobel Prize also, which was given for this theory, that dark energy is responsible behind the expansion of the universe. Now there is a new theory. This theory is from Yonsei University. And it says that dark energy may be weakening over the time. That dark energy is becoming less powerful. Dark energy is becoming less powerful. So this is one thing which has been suggested by one of the university. Okay. Means now the expansion of universe is going to be in a decelerating phase. It is going to be in a deaccelerating phase. Means universe was expanding. Universe was expanding, but now it might get contracted. It might start to get contracted. So there is a theory here which is called as the Big Crunch theory. There is one thing called as Big Crunch theory. So what is the Big Crunch theory? Big Crunch is just opposite to Big Bang. Big Bang said that there was a singularity, there was a single point, and that single point led to the outburst, led to the Big Bang event, and led to the expansion of universe. Now, what is the Big Crunch theory? It says that the entire universe is going to collapse one day into that singularity point. It says that this entire universe is going to collapse into that one single point in the future. So this, when we talk about this Big Bang, it says that universe has just started to expand. We might be somewhere here. We are somewhere over here. And in future, there is going to be a big crunch where this entire universe is going to again come down to one single point. Means everything will be gone. Everything will be over. There will be no universe, there will be no matter, there will be nothing. So now it has been said that it may happen that in the future there will be nothing. There will be no universe, there will be no UPSC exams, no tension. Okay. So I hope this is clear. So there is, on one side we have the Big Bang theory, which says that the universe is expanding, and there is a Big Crunch theory. It says that yes, the universe is expanding, but now that expansion is going to deaccelerate. Now that expansion is going to deaccelerate, and everything is going to come down to that one single point. All the stars, all the galaxies, all the planets, all the countries will be gone. Estimated time कब तक है? देखो अभी अपने पास बहुत टाइम है. We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to worry about it in near future. For next 100 years, you don't have to worry about anything. We have to worry about climate change first. It took 13.8 billion years for universe to expand up to this point. It took around 13.8 billion years for the universe to expand up to this point. So we have at least that much time left. Okay. So yes, that is one theory. Again, I am saying this is a theory. We don't know what is the reality as of now. There are different theories. If it is proved, then we will get to know about it later. Although you may have seen this one thing, that from the nebula, there is formation of stars. The stars grow. The stars are like using their fuel, and ultimately many of these stars simply become a black hole. Many of these stars become a black hole over the period of time. So stars are born, stars become young, stars become mature, stars become old, and finally they die. And many of them, when they die, they become a single black hole. So there is a symmetry there. There is many such symmetry which exist in the universe. So yes, there is a possibility. There is a possibility that the universe may cease to exist in the future. But don't worry about it. We are all safe. Don't worry about it. We will at least have 2026. Yes, it is a contradiction of multiverse theory. Multiverse theory is like something which is not given that much of attention. It's not that it is incorrect. We cannot say that it is incorrect, but it hasn't got so much of proof or anything like that. So this is one part. Now we will see one topic and then we will come to the test paper marks. So we are discussing this tardigrades from the prelims bonanza topic, from the prelims specific topic. We are discussing this tardigrades. So they are also known as water bear or moss piglets. They have a size of approximately 0.5 mm. If they are fully grown, their size is 0.5 mm. When we talk about them, they have been existing for 600 million years. So you can call them Aswathama. Okay. We can call them Aswathama. That is ever present. Okay. So they have existed for 600 million years, and it has survived all 5 major mass extinction events. Okay. So it has got 4 pairs of clawed legs, a piercing mouth part, and it feed on algae, plant cells, and small invertebrates. So it is eating the algae, the plant cells, and small invertebrates. Okay. They can survive extreme conditions like temperature as low as minus 272.95, that is 0 Kelvin, almost 0 Kelvin. It is almost 0 Kelvin. Okay. And as high as 150 degrees Celsius. It can survive temperature up to 150 degrees Celsius. It can survive in vacuum, means it can survive without air. It can survive ultraviolet radiation, and it can also survive in 4-kilometer depth in the oceans. So it can be found in the 4-kilometer depth of the oceans also. It can be in the vacuum also. It can also survive in ultraviolet radiation of the space. It can survive 150 degrees Celsius of temperature. It can also survive minus 272.95 degrees Celsius. Okay. Then they have one thing called as cryptobiosis. So in which organisms bring their metabolism to a near complete standstill in face of adverse environmental condition. So they have one thing called as cryptobiosis. Cryptobiosis is basically one thing where all the metabolic activities come to a halt, and at the same time they can reduce their metabolism to less than 0.01% of normal, drop their water level by more than 95%, which is called as anhydrobiosis. Okay. So they have two special capability, cryptobiosis and anhydrobiosis. And with the help of this, they are able to survive in very much extreme conditions, which might not be possible for any other organism. So this is one thing which we see about tardigrades. They are the space travelers also. They are the space travelers also. They have gone to space. So see, without UPSC examination also, you can get the limelight. You can get the limelight without UPSC exam also. See about the tardigrades. They are into the space and back. They have been reviewed. They have been studied by many of the countries of the world. They have been studied by many of the countries of the world. देखने में dangerous लग रहा है. It is 0.5 mm. It is the size of 0.5 mm. So why are you fearful about the tardigrades? Like if we talk about their role in the environment, they are mostly acting as decomposers. They help in fixing the what we say, the important minerals in the soil. They help in fixation of important minerals in the soil. That is their one of the prime role. Okay. So they are something which are helpful in cycling nutrients in the soil. They are also acting as decomposers. So that is one thing called as tardigrades. Now we are coming to this one part. So I have asked this one question last day, that how much score you are getting in test papers, how much scores you are getting in test paper, and there was one answer from Ranjit in the comment box. Many of you have not told me about the test paper marks, but there was this one answer from Ranjit that something around 30%, that is correct. 40% confusion, and near about 30% that is never heard of. So this is one breakup which I have got from Ranjit. I think for many of you, this might be almost same. This is something which I expect that for most of you, it is almost same. It can be 30 to 40% range here and 30 to 40% range here. So this is one thing which I expect that most of you are in this category itself. That 30% times it is correct. 30% times it is correct. And 40% time it is confusion. A little bit of silly mistakes also. I think out of this, 25% was never heard of and 5% was silly mistakes. Silly mistakes. I think for majority of you, the breakup is around this only. Whenever you are going through any paper, most of you are concerned about one thing. And this is the reality, that when you are going for the examination, when you are solving the test papers, you are mostly concerned about this part. You are mostly concerned about this part, that we have even never heard of this topic. Most of the people are concerned about this part, this 25 or 30% part, that we have never even heard of this topic, how this came in exam. It was not there in our test papers. Sorry, it was not there in our notes. It was not there in my book. So am I going through the wrong book? Am I going through the wrong material? This is going to be the major confusion among the students. So this is the major problem. Now just see this one part. Your 30% is correct, plus 5%, which is the silly mistake. If you add it, you got the 35%. Now when you are focusing on this part which requires revision, so if you are having a continuous revision, you can get this 40% quite easily. So this is in your hand. 35% plus 40%, this is something which is always there in your hand. So most of the time people are worried about this one part. Do not even think about doing this or covering this. Do not change your book. Do not change your notes. Evaluate any paper, evaluate any test paper, any exam paper. You will always find this one thing, that this one is not the problem. And you cannot even find the solution of this part. No matter how many books, how many notes you are going through, you will never get this. Suppose you are giving 10 hours on revision. If you are getting 10 hours on revision, you will at least get 20 out of 40%. You will at least get 20 out of 40%. But if you are focusing this 10 hour on this topic, it is hardly 5 out of 25. So this is one ratio which you have to understand. If you are focusing your 10 hours on revision, there is a very much chance that you will get 20 out of 40. But if you are focusing that 10 hours on the new topics, you will never get that marks. You will hardly get 5 out of 25. So don't waste your energy on this portion. Always try to make this one correct. Always try to make this one correct. If you are doing this part, if you are doing this revision, then you will find that most of your challenges will be gone. Most of your problems will be gone. So do this one thing, like 30% correct is already there. 5% silly mistake you can always avoid, and work on this part of confusion. Once you start working on it, you will get the result. So Surfi, we have Hindi classes at 6 p.m. We have Hindi classes at 6 p.m. So don't worry about it. So I hope, Ranjit, that solves your problem. So tell me one thing, like you all might be having like many such test papers in upcoming days. So today is 30 of this month, and today I think this is Tuesday. So maybe you might be having some test papers by the end of this week, or maybe in this week itself. So next Tuesday, that is like on 6th of January. On 6th January, I will ask you again this thing. On 6th January, I will ask you this thing again, that have you gone through revision of those topics? And if you have focused on revision, have your marks improved or not? There is another part. Many of you may be having this one problem, that when we are revising something, we are not able to recall it later. So I have always emphasized on this thing, that revision has to be followed by recalling. Revision plus recalling. These two have to be followed. You have to follow this one thing. Revise, recall. Revise, recall. How you have to do this? Let me just give you one simple example. Let's say today we have discussed, let me give you an example. Let me give you this one example. Today we have discussed about NPA. So what you should be doing, you can have a short pocket diary. This is your pocket diary, let's say. This is your pocket diary, and in that pocket diary, write this one topic. Okay, NPA. Then you have another thing like SMA. Then you have second thing, substandard asset. Then third thing, doubtful asset. Okay. So we have discussed certain parts of NPA. First thing, NPA, SMA, a special mention account, substandard asset, and then we have discussed about the doubtful asset. We have discussed these four things. Now next day in the morning, on 31st of January, when you wake up, try to see this pocket diary, and without going through the revision of it, try to recall this part, that how many things you are able to recall. When you make an index of each and every topic, each and every dimension, and you see it multiple times, remember this one thing, it may take time, but once you have gone through it, you will remember this by heart for a very long period of time. So this is a basic step. This is a very much basic step, but this can ensure that if you are reading something, it will remain in your memory for a very long period of time. Just make short notes, just write the name. See what I have written here. I have just written 4 words: NPA, special mention account, doubtful asset, stress assets. Doubtful assets and substandard asset. So I have written only 4 words. I have just summarized the entire NPA topic in 4 keywords. The entire topic in just 4 keywords. And when you look at these 4 keywords, if the entire concept of the NPA comes to your mind, it means you have revisited it, you have recalled it. Next time when you see this paper again, just by looking at these 4 keywords, you would be able to recall it. Once you do it 4 or 5 times, remember this, it will be in your memory for a very long period of time. So just this is one thing which you have to do, Anjali, that when you are doing this pocket diary thing, when you are writing these small keywords, then you will be able to recall it for a long period of time. So I think Neelu, you might be able to recall many of these things quite easily. Okay. एक डजन से ज्यादा डायरीज हो गई हैं. So the thing is, like if you are going through those diaries, if you are looking at these, are you able to recall it or not? Yes, this is one thing, this is one strategy, Ranjit, I think I have discussed with all of you in the past also. This is one thing which I have discussed with all of you in the past also. Now, this is something which takes time, which asks for consistency. But yes, when you are consistent, you will have very good marks in test paper. So consistency is the key. And see, this is one thing, like make a weekly target. Make a weekly target. Once you are making that weekly target, then you will be able to do that. सर ये करंट अफेयर्स हमेशा चेंज होता है, यूपीएससी को समझना चाहिए, हम भी बच्चे हैं. देखो, आप बच्चे नहीं हो. You are supposed to run an entire district. So you will not be considered as a kid. You will not be considered as a kid. You have the entire district take control of. और ठंड में लिखने में प्रॉब्लम होती है. निशांत, कैसे ठंड में लिखने में प्रॉब्लम होती है? हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू हैंडल द डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन? मान लो इफ यू आर अपॉइंटेड एज द एसपी ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर डिस्ट्रिक्ट, how would you go for patrolling in the night time if there is such a sensitive issue? You all should be starting now the daily and weekly targets. You all should be starting the daily and weekly targets, and no excuses that this is cold weather, this is warm weather. Each and everything can be controlled. All of you are young people. You have the new blood. You have the new blood. You have, all of you are young people. So you should not be complaining about the winter at this age. Those who are above 70 years of age or 80 years of age, if they say that it is very harsh winter, then it is acceptable. But the young ones should not be complaining about this winter season. So start making daily and weekly targets. We will meet again tomorrow, 31st of December of this year, and then we will discuss about more current affair topics. So this is one question also for all of you. There is one question which you have to give answer in the comment box. Under the Indian Constitution, the concentration of wealth violates which of them? And this is one question which I want all of you to answer. What were your learnings of 2025? What was the best part of it and the most problematic part? So this is one thing, like I have been talking to all of you for quite some time now, for more than 2-3 years now. So now it's time that I should also be knowing about you. So tell me about this thing, that what you have got in 2025. So I will be waiting for all your questions. Shankar, what was your question? Just mention it once in the comment box, Shankar. What was your question? देखो, मोटिवेशन की क्या जरूरत है? You are, until unless you are 70 years of age, there is no winter. Okay. So just mention it once in the comment box, Shankar. I could not see your question. So just mention it once again in the comment box. I will answer your question first thing in tomorrow's class. So thank you everyone. Take care and all the best. Thank you.